No, it's over here. Yep. I lose my mind if it wasn't attached. So when we're watching the videos, you can do that, but once we're done with the videos, and you're going to take a break from decorating for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
But during the videos, as long as you're paying attention to the videos, I'm okay with you still decorating.
I can do that.
Perfect. So it'll be a big quiz after.
Oh, it's time for break.
And if you don't pass, you stay back.
Gosh,
I don't think we have that right though. That'd be an interesting experience.
You get detention in Leesburg.
That would be an interesting experience. Pastor's the principal. Library. So I can get to my. Okay. Where did I get 7? Did I have some too much? Oh. They put the live video on there. Oh, I'm gonna play this first. I found these. They're cute. They have like little Christmas songs that go with it. Maybe my seats. Before it goes to. Now we can start there. And of course.
Cuddle up and cozy down. Duncan Hines chocolate chip and sugar cookies this holiday season.
Maine General Surgery. We're here. From routine procedures to life
in a good mood is really great, and most languages have lots of words to describe the experience, like happy, cheerful, joyful, and so on. The same goes for the languages of the Bible. In ancient biblical Hebrew, there's a variety of words, like simcha, sason, or gil. In the Greek New Testament, there's kara, euphrosune, or agaliasis. Each word has its own unique nuance, but they all basically refer to the feeling of joy and happiness. Now, what makes these biblical joy words interesting is noticing the kinds of things that bring happiness, and also seeing how joy is a key theme that runs through the whole story of the Bible. Let's start with sources of joy. On page 1 of the Bible, God says that this world is very good. So naturally, people find joy in beautiful and good things of life, like growing flocks or an abundant harvest on the hills. The poet of Psalm 104 says a good bottle of wine is God's gift to bring joy to people's hearts. People find joy at a wedding or in their children. There's even a Hebrew proverb that compares the joy perfume brings to your nose with the joy a good friend brings to your heart. However, human history isn't just a joy fest. The biblical story shows how we live in a world that's been corrupted by our own selfishness. It's marked by death and loss. And this is where biblical faith offers a unique perspective on joy. It's an attitude God's people adopt, not because of happy circumstances, but because of their hope in God's love and promise. So when the Israelites were suffering from slavery in Egypt, God raised up Moses to lead them to freedom. And the first thing the Israelites did was sing for joy. Even though they were in the middle of a desert, they were vulnerable, the promised land was still far away, they rejoiced anyway. Later biblical poets looked back on this story and they remembered how the Lord caused his people to leave with joy, his chosen ones with shouts of joy. This joy in the wilderness, this was a defining moment, a way of saying that the people is not determined by their struggles, but by their future destiny. This theme appears later in Israel's story, when Israel suffered under the oppression of foreign empires. The prophet Isaiah looked for a day when God would raise up a new deliverer like Moses. That's when those redeemed by the Lord will return to Zion with glad shouts, with eternal joy crowning their heads. Happiness and joy will overtake them. And while the Israelites waited, they chose joy to anticipate their future redemption. This is why it's significant that when Jesus of Nazareth was born, it was announced as good news that brings great joy. We're told that Jesus himself rejoiced and gave thanks to God his Father when he began to announce the kingdom of God. He even taught his followers the same joy in the wilderness, saying, when people reject you or persecute you for following me, rejoice, be very glad, because your reward is great in heaven. After his death and resurrection, Jesus commissioned his followers to go out and announce the good news that he was the risen king of the world. And as they did so, the early Christian communities were known for being full of joy, even when they were persecuted. Like when the Apostle Paul was sitting in a dirty Roman prison, he could say that he's chosen joy, even if he gets executed. He called this the joy of faith, or joy in the Lord. He believed it was the gift of God's Spirit, a sign that Jesus' presence is with you, inspiring hope in the midst of hardship. And when you believe that Jesus' love has overcome death itself, joy becomes reasonable in the darkest of circumstances. Now, this doesn't mean that you ignore or suppress your sorrow. That's not healthy or necessary. Paul often expressed his grief about missing loved ones or losing friends or his own freedom. He called it being full of sorrow and yet rejoicing. As he acknowledged his pain, he also made a choice to trust Jesus, that his loss wouldn't be the final word. This is very different from the trite advice to turn that frown upside down. Christian joy is a profound decision of faith and hope in the power of Jesus' own life and love. And that's what biblical joy is all about. Hey, thanks for watching this word study video by the Bible Project. We make lots of other videos, and they're all about showing how the Bible is a unified story that leads to Jesus.
You can go to our website, theproject.com, see what we're working on, and even jump in to pitch in a few bucks to the next one. Thanks for being a part of this with us.
Thanks, guys.
Stressed out? Time to refresh your rhythm with Trinit.
In the tender embrace of Advent, we find ourselves on the cusp of a wondrous journey. Like the first light of dawn, joy begins to illuminate our hearts. In Isaiah chapter 61, verses 1 through 4 and 8 through 11, we hear the prophet's voice, a herald of good news to the oppressed, a proclamation of liberty to the captives, and the promise of joy for those who mourn. We witness the human experience where joy and sorrow intermingle, where we long for a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Advent reminds us that joy is not a fleeting emotion, but a wellspring that flows from the heart of God, reaching out to touch our lives. Isaiah's words speak of transformation, of beauty rising from ashes, of joy blossoming in unexpected places. It's a promise of renewal and hope. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me. He has sent me to bring good news to the oppressed, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and release to the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to provide for those who mourn in Zion, to give them a garland instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the mantle of praise instead of a faint spirit. They will be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, to display his glory. During this Advent season, let us open our hearts to the joy that comes from selfless giving, from being present for one another, from finding purpose in the service of others. In this season of Advent, may joy be our guiding light, filling our hearts with hope and our spirits with praise. Like stars in the night sky, may our joy shine brightly, a testament to the light that has come into the world. Amen.
Sometimes you just need a moment. Self-care.
Oh yeah, we had done after this one. Ready, Anne, to put that stuff up?
Yeah.
Have some time. You can continue doing it. So, what's this week about?
Joy.
Joy? Okay, yeah. Anything stood out of the videos?
I can remember what stood out.
In the first video, they had a video, the intro to what candle?
The joy candle.
Well, we had another name for it.
That was the name of Shepherd.
Why do you
the
think?
shepherd.
Why do you think they would put shepherds and joy together? So we've seen hope go with prophets. We've seen peace go with Bethlehem. Now we're seeing joy with shepherds.
I feel like it's
Do you remember? Do you know the Christmas story? Have you been told that story before?
no.
And get you a little line in this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I won't do the lightness thing. I'll actually do it.
Well, while he's looking that up, we can light the candles at the same time.
Guarding their sheep, guarding their flocks. When the angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, they were terrified. The angel said to them, "Don't be afraid, because I am here announcing to you good news of great joy to all people. This very day, in the town of David, there is born to you a deliverer, who is the Messiah of the Lord. Here is how you will know. You will find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger." Suddenly, along with the angel, was a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men."
So after hearing that,
Oh,
where do you think the joy comes from for the shepherd's candle? What did they tell the shepherds to do?
go
Oh, yeah. So to be,
to be joy.
there you go, to be joyful. So I want to light the candles. So we do 2 purple and a pink. So we finally get the pink one. I know you guys always ask, why is there so many purple and not enough?
All I gotta do is if I'm right-handed.
That would be helpful. So the first candle is, starts with an H.
Humble?
No.
Hope.
Hope.
Oh, hope.
Hope.
This one's.
Now remember, don't burn yourself.
Oh, come on.
Anyone online knows that I did not put her in the line of fire. Yep, peace, perfect. And now,
Joy.
joy. We'll get in your head.
Eventually.
Once you leave here, after like what 6 years of youth group, you'll finally be able to be like, oh, it's so hope. Oh yeah, not wow. Now you got me confused here. Thank you very much. Joy. So, okay, what was week 1? Hope. Yep. Or they also call that the prophet candle because the prophets brought hope by the prophecy that the Messiah was going to come. And that was last Sunday's, or we call it the Bethlehem / angel, because the angel, of course, comes to both parties, Mary, Joseph, and the shepherds, and say, peace, don't worry. But also Bethlehem, because their trip, and it focused all on their journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem, which was it an easy, quick trip, or was it a long, tough trip?
Long trip.
Long trip, yeah. So what does joy mean to you? So if I say, what's joy, what would you your first reaction to joy be? And no, not a name. Yes, it is a name. If I say I am joy, I have joy, or I'm joyful, what would you expect that to be? What do you expect me to be like?
Happy.
Yeah, happy. So you don't expect me to be gloomy,
No.
sad, Eeyore, woe is me. You do know who Eeyore is, right? Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Winnie the Pooh?
The donkey.
The donkey? The one that you have to like nail his tail back on him all the time?
Oh,
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Oh, there you go. I thought we're gonna have a little education there. Okay, so definition of joy is a state of happiness or fruition, a source or cause of delight. So me being here is a joy to me. So it brings me delight being here. The experience of great pleasure or delight. So why is joy important this time of year?
It's a show that doesn't have. Excuse me.
There you go. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, if like you don't have family relatives or they can have some food, I don't know.
No, that's not a bad guess.
I'm just
Of course, you have a lot of songs nowadays that talk about joy, right? You know, joy to the world. You know, all these things.
I still like the original.
Yeah. Or other songs that talk about joy, like the Noel and all these other stuff. Angels we have heard on high, all these stuff are like high pitched, like, oh yay. But joy, you know, again, it's supposed to be a time. Christmas is supposed to be a time of happiness, of love, of, you know, looking forward to the new year and leaving the old year behind you. For some of us that have had a hard year. So we got some Old Testament verses on joy. The Bible's on the other side behind you. Move these a little bit to the side so I can put my.
Proverbs feel like got the.
They're all in the Old Testament, so the very first part of the book. So Psalms is literally like in the middle of the book. Proverbs is like right after Psalms. And then, of course, Jeremiah and Habakkuk are near behind there. Actually, I'm in Psalms. I'm almost at Psalms 118, so I can do Psalms 118.
I'm not so. So what did you just say was that?
I have 118. You can do Psalms 33:21 if you want.
Wait, what?
You said you were in Psalms, right?
Yeah, I'm in songs.
Psalms.
But it doesn't say songs.
Psalms.
Songs? Oh.
That's Psalms. The P is silent.
No, I'm in songs.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't need to be in there.
Where the?
So go forward. Yeah, Songs of Solomon is like one of the last books in the what's it called, the wisdom literature. And we are definitely not touching Songs of Solomon anytime soon. Okay, so I got Psalms 118:24, and it says, "This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice, be glad in it." This is the day.
Oh, I'm at Habakkuk.
You're in Habakkuk?
Yeah.
How the heck did you get from Songs of Solomon going forward to Habakkuk? Okay, well, hey, if you can do Habakkuk, I'll go do the other song. Then I can do the other Proverbs. Then you can do Jeremiah if you want.
Found it.
Found it? So it's Habakkuk chapter 3, verses 17 to 18.
Yeah. Even though the fig tree, F-I-G.
Oh yeah, fig tree then.
Fig trees have no blossoms and there are no leaves on the vines. Even though the olive crop falls and the fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields and the cattle birds are empty barns, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be cheerful in the God of my salvation.
Good job.
Yay.
So I got Psalms 33:21, and that says, "In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name." So if you want, Jeremiah is forward. So go back towards Songs of Solomon, and Jeremiah will be right around there. Since he accidentally got into Songs of Solomon, I did not. That's why I brought it up. I'm like, were you touching that with a 10-foot pole? But since you somehow happened to fall onto that, I can use that as a reference of where to go towards. So I got Psalm 17:22 right here, and that says, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength." Do you need some help finding Jeremiah?
No, I found it.
You found it? Perfect. It's going to be chapter 15, verses 16.
Yeah, finding both parts is pretty easy.
Found it.
Perfect.
When I discover your words, I'm rewarded.
What are you looking for?
Like, I think it's the word.
Oh, devoured.
Oh, devoured. They are my joy and my heart's delight, for I bear your name, O Lord God of heaven's armies. Amen.
ARMY.
Yeah.
That's armies.
Oh, armies. Okay.
Perfect. So now we're going to look up verses in the New Testament. So that's near the back. So remember where we studied Matthew, Mark, Luke, John? That's where it begins. Yes, we got Philippians taken care of.
John 15.
John 15:11. Okay. Since I'm close to Luke, I'll get Luke 2.
Rejoice in union with the Lord always. I say again, rejoice. And James 1.
Okay, so we're at Luke 10, chapter 2 says this, which we kind of already read it before. But the angels assured them, "Don't be afraid," he said. "I bring you good news that will bring great joy to all people."
James 1:2. Regard it all joy, my brothers, when you face various types of temptation.
You okay?
I'm in Luke.
I just got done with Luke. After Luke is John.
Oh, okay.
So literally it goes Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. I think I might have confused her because we did Matthew, Mark, John, Luke.
Yeah.
So I will take responsibility for that one. Hey, it worked perfectly when you talk about the Bible chronologically.
Right.
So you're doing John 15:11, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in John right now.
Okay, Galatians.
So I'll do John 16:33. You want to read yours then?
I have told you these things so that you will be filled with my joy. Yes, your joy will overflow.
Yeah. I got 16:33.
Galatians 5:22. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness.
Did you do 1511 or did you do 1633?
I did 15.
Okay, so all of them, 1633 is pretty much the exact same verse you read.
Oh, okay.
So I will go then to one of the Corinthians. I have 2 Corinthians 6:10.
I'll take 12 too. 12:10.
Perfect. And 6:10 says this: Our hearts ache, but we always have joy. We are poor, but we give spiritual riches to others. We own nothing, and yet we have everything.
And 12. It says, yes, I am well pleased with weaknesses, insults, hardship, persecution, and difficulties. Endured on behalf of the Messiah, for it is when I am weak that I am strong.
Perfect. So why do we need to have joy? Why should we have joy? How would you feel if you were around people that are always upset and depressed and angry? Huh?
Be happy?
You'd be happy?
Wait, no, I'll be sad.
You'd be sad. So you want to be around people that are joyful, right?
Right, happy.
Because, usually when you're around something, you act out what you're around. Now, I like Gil when he was talking about this 2 years ago, Living Waters. Can you be joyful during hard times?
Yes. It's
Sometimes.
harder.
So Gil was talking about how this wasn't a real story. This was something that he made up. He's like, oh, my house is on fire. I've lost everything, but yet I'm still joyful. And I'm like, how the heck do you do that? And he's like, you got to put a lot of strength and trust in God. But does that mean we can't feel sadness or hurt? So since we're supposed to be joyful, does that mean I can't, if you call me a name, do I have every right to feel sad or hurtful by you calling me that name? It's okay to feel sad and hurt and stuff, because how do you feel if you stub your toe and you're like, yay, I'm so happy?
When you're not, you're just like,
You want to say a bunch of other things you probably shouldn't be saying.
no.
But yeah, so how can you be more joyful?
I have honestly no clue.
By looking at the bigger picture. And like I've said before, that's one of the hardest concepts for us to understand because of the fact that we live in linear time.
Mm-hmm.
God sees everything all at once, so he knows, okay, I'm going to have to put Richard through this right here so that I can get him to this point.
Yeah.
We're not going to see what, how God is working to get us to this point. So we have to be joyful and know that, okay, God's going to work it. God has a reason for this.
We were talking with somebody the other day because they asked, like, how do we know that God's working through us? And we're like, sometimes you're never going to know. Sometimes you're not going to see God use the good out of your bad. Like I said, a lot of military people that go out to war, they didn't see the good that happened for their sacrifice. The Revolutionary War, people that died during the war, they didn't get to see their kids, their grandkids, and so on have the freedom that they sacrificed for. Can you honor God by being joyful?
Yeah.
That's not with a question. You think it's a yes? Say yes. I'm sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So how can it be a yes? Go back to the verses we talked about. What were one of the fruits of the Spirit? Everything's about joy this week. So the correct answer is usually joy.
It came down to their review.
Yeah. So joy. God tells us. That the fruits of the Spirit are stuff that we're supposed to be or have, and joy is one of them. So if God tells us these are what I want you to have, if you have it, you're honoring Him. Can you show people joy?
Yes.
How can you show somebody joy? In your school, in your family, in your friends, in youth group?
No.
You don't know? What would be more positive?
I don't know, me and our friends doing dumb stuff.
Well, but I meant like positive, like let's say I'm trying to think of something that could be negative and you can use in a positive way.
Wait, I got my
What?
So me and my friends playing dodgeball.
Yeah, okay. So like if you get out, let's say it was a bad shot. So let's say I would play dodgeball against you and I go for your head. Which is usually one of the main rules you don't go for, right? Is you never go for the head.
I've been hit in the head.
But instead of being upset and angry, could you show joy by just walking away with a smile on your face, even though it hurts?
Yeah.
Yeah? Being a little more positive, be like, oh, well, I'll get him next time. Just don't go for a headshot against me,
It's just.
We're told to turn the other cheek, so.
I already.
Here, let me turn the cheek.
So, we should be praying for joy, always. So we should always be praying for hope, joy, and peace. And next week, you want to take a guess what we might learn about next week? I would say it's one of the most overused words in the world, probably.
Don't know.
John's giving you a visual hint.
Oh, love.
Love. So yes, we got the love and then the Christ candle. So we got to burn 5 candles all next Sunday. So yeah, no, it's exciting, huh? So that's the lesson. Let me see what time we have.
1:46.
So we still got some time. So you can do some more cookies if you want.
Yeah.
Those are really coming out really good, actually.
I'm just putting color on it.
Hey, as I told Colton when he did the tree, when I tell you guys when you guys were writing, your names on the cards and everything, do it your way. This is from you guys. There's a lot of people who've been saying thank you for the cards. They said it was a really nice gesture. So you guys are making some nice, good friends with members of the church. Okay, so let me exit out of that.